I know where I need to be, but I can't figure out, yeah, I can't figure out just how much air I will need to breathe when your tide rushes over me. There's only one way to figure out, but will you let me drown? Yeah, will you let me drown? And hey now, this is my desire, consume me like a fire, 'cause I just want something beautiful to touch me. I know that I'm married, 'cause I am down on my knees and waiting for something beautiful.
Hey guys, welcome back. Here's Mark Tennyson, new to the program, on hole 1 at Crane Creek. It was a wet and windy day out here. We actually were fortunate enough to get a break in the day and go out and play some disc golf. We played at about 3:45, 4 o'clock, and it was raining the whole morning. And this is me. This is a CD2. And here is Juan, and Juan is new to the program as well. Juan and both Mark, really nice people, both UFOs, both really good players. So it was great to have them out there today. They're gearing up for the Northern California Team Challenge, which is going to be held in Monterey. And I believe that's being filmed by Central Coast Disc Golf. So if you're not already a fan of them, make sure to go check out their channel. And that was me running it, trying to lay up. It was a combination run slash layup, and that was the proxy, and I ended up being a little bit short. Here's one for a 2, and it looked like he hit the pole, and then he rolled out. So Juan and I are going to have par putts. Here's Mark for a birdie, and boy did he make that look easy. A nice birdie for Mark to start things off. And here we go into hole 2 in its normal pin position today. And for me, this has always been a long hole, so I'm going to use a data list, but here's Mark. And Mark crushes. Just a nice, slow, fluid motion by Mark. And we definitely did a little bit of chatting about how I should throw and different techniques, and because I throw too fast and need to slow down a lot. That was that data list I was talking about. Here's Juan. Juan's going to be using that disc a lot today. That's an outlaw, and that's more his beat-in outlaw, and that thing mashes. But you can see with the big clouds just in between storms here, and this is me for a birdie 2. Oh yeah, that is in the hole. You can see the shirt hip hop, and birdies will drop, folks. That was a really good putt by me. Here's Mark answering with a 2. And we actually missed an upshot that Juan had because he did go pretty far to the right, actually. And so he had a nice par. So Juan even after 2. And Mark at -2 and myself at -1. Here's hole number 3. Just probably one of the best views that we had all day. But it was one of the deadliest because the winds were really pushing it. You can see the grass next to Mark on the left. Really windy. And I'm going to go with a clash. Not sure what Mark was going with. Mark was throwing putters and fell-ins and a lot of trilogy stuff. And with the winds that were at the course, I really thought I hung that out too much. It was too much of a big hyzer, and I thought I was going to go down the hill, but it's actually stayed up. And here's Juan. Juan actually did not go too far, but he's gonna try to forehand it in for a layup here. And there he is, laying it up. That's a good shot. And this is where I actually went. So not too bad considering where I thought I was going to end up. I'm about 45 feet away from it, outside the circle. And just a little bit over the top, and the wind kind of took it. So I'll have a tester coming back. And here's Mark for a birdie 2. Oh no, and he completely missed it. And he's actually going to have a farther putt for his par putt than he did for her birdie. And that's one of those instances where with the wind, you can go from a birdie to a bogey just like that. And that's a rare 3-putt for Mark. He doesn't do that very often. He's a really good putter. And this is for a par. And Juan's going to tap in. So Mark with the bogey and Juan and I with the par. So we're tied at 1 under. And here's hole 4, which is up on the hill. And I'm going to use a dataless. The tee pads were really nice. What a difference having the full set in this time of year. And these are the first tee pads that went in, and everything was playing really nice today. We got to finish the hole 18. And here's Juan with that outlaw, and absolutely crushes this thing over the hill, past the basket. He's probably 67 feet, 70 feet away from it. And there you see him, and then here you'll see the basket coming up, and again, he just let it go and short on the second shot. So he'll have a tester for par. I actually was laying up. I intended to lay up, and when I threw it, the wind pushed it up, and it actually hit off the basket. So I was fortunate enough that it did not roll back down the hill. So I got a par, Juan bogeyed. And Mark, we didn't get his drive, but he was parked. And he got a birdie too. So a really nice shot by Mark there. And here's hole 5. So hole 5, one of the slipperiest tee pads that we had to play off of today. And this is going to be in pin position, I believe, number C, which is going to be down by the creek next to the bridge by hole 6. And Mark actually was telling me before he shot this that it's definitely a forehand shot. That's what he was feeling. So I didn't listen to him. I went with a backhand. This is a Leopard 3. And it didn't come back. I wanted it. Usually it should have. It's an understable disc, but for some reason it just did not hold its line. And here's Juan. Juan also going forehand. This is with his outlaw. And if you're wondering what discs Mark used, I believe on hole 4 when he parked it right next to the hole, I believe that was his Felon. So he throws a really good Felon. I tried to give this a run, but it just wasn't a good effort, and I left it short for a tester. And you can see Juan went way to the right, but had a really, really good upshot to save par. And here's Mark. Oh, what a beautiful putt. And that's a birdie, folks. This is for par. And you gotta want it. I just didn't want it enough. Left it short. This actually wasn't short. It didn't aim high enough, and that's my first bogey of the round. So we move into hole 6 in normal position. We were actually playing a casual round today, so the creek was not out of bounds. Generally, the creek is OB. However, we did not have that rule today. And here's Juan. Juan actually going to use a DGA breaker. He actually got me hooked on the breakers. Gray disc. It's a putter, but we both drive with it and upshot with it. It's really it's a beefy putter, and definitely recommend people checking it out. This is a dataless that I just completely hung out to dry, and you can see there it ended up being a hyzer shot. The tip of the disc wasn't down enough. And it just wasn't a good effort. So a little bit of things if you're learning how to throw, just things to remember. But I went into the creek on my second shot, and Juan joined me coming across from right to left. And this is Mark's second shot, and I think Mark felt that, you know what, we're all in the creek, I'll join him. So it's a creek party, and everybody's in the creek. And a nice comebacker for par. Here's Juan to save par. And both Juan and I missed our par putts. We were kind of baffled, but we took bogeys, and Mark saved a par. So this is Mark's shot. So Mark throws a pretty good shot here, but he just hung it out to the right. It didn't come back, so he's going to be in the gully. And this is Juan. Juan went with a forehand, and he threw this thing really far. Past the basket, and it came back, but he's going to be in the creek. coming back across. And this is myself, and this is going to be for, this is my drive. This is actually, that was a Firebird, and I tried to throw a thumber, but it just kind of slipped out and went too much to the right. And there's Juan's layup. Juan was saying how he was laying up the whole day. With this wind, it was really tough to get to make a really decent run at it. And that's the hard part about Crane Creek. A lot of people think it's easy because it's open. But when you have 30, 40 mile an hour winds, it can be challenging even on a 10-foot putt. You can see that I laid up, and Mark's going to lay up, so everybody getting a par on hole 7. We're moving to hole 8. And this is where it gets tricky. Hole 8, hole 9, the back side of the course is very wide open, very dangerous with the wind. Sometimes you almost need to club up, or disc up as we should say. And occasionally we miss shots. I was handing the camera off to Juan, and Juan was handing the camera off to Mark, and so there may or may not have been a missed shot or two. I know Juan was nervous the whole time. He was kind of feeling the camera, he kind of wasn't. This is the first time I think he's ever been on camera as far as disc golfing. So we did have some fun. I think Mark really enjoyed it. He had some fun too. This is a clash. And it's funny, right before I shot this, Juan said, "Don't throw a hyzer, keep it low." And I did exactly the opposite of what he told me. And this is what I get for it. End up by that tree. You can see the basket, but just I was in jail. This is Juan coming out of his shot. He did the same thing, so that's why he told me don't do it. And he spit out, and I spit out. So we both have difficult par attempts. And I just left it wide. Should have laid up just to play it smart in the wind. But I was running everything that day, and I just wanted to get it in the hole. And Juan with a nice upshot. He's going to have a bogey. And I believe Mark had the camera, and we saw a hawk flying around. And so I believe Mark got a cool little video of that. This is for me for bogey, and that's going to be a double bogey. So no bueno. And Mark with another birdie. Wow, it was just another really good drive. He had the drives going. And I don't believe we got Mark's drive on this one. But he ended up going to the left, almost pin high. And Juan throwing his outlaw again. And it's hard to see without the zoom again. Sorry guys with no zoom. He's parked. And I'm going to throw a dataless again, but the last few holes right here of the front 9, my driver kind of went away, and instead of keeping it low, for some reason I kept it really high, and I kept hyzering. And so I went all the way to the bottom of the hill and had a great upshot. This is my upshot where it landed. So I have a shot at saving my par. And you can see Mark had a couple shots out of there. He got one shot out, and then he missed his par putt. So Mark is going to get a bogey. And I laid up right there. I missed my par putt. So I'm going to get a bogey too. And this is Juan for birdie. And he canned it. That's a good putt. Nice putt for Juan. And this is the end of the video. We only did 9 holes. Juan wanted to focus on playing, so we kind of ended it after that. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks guys for watching the channel. We have 25 subscribers, and this is our disc giveaway. We did a random drawing, and Jacob Babcock is the winner. So Jacob, thank you for subscribing, and you are the proud owner of a Pro Thunderbird 170 grams. So please, in the comments below, let me know how I can get this disc to you. And again, thank you guys for subscribing. We're going to do another giveaway at 50 subscribers. Thank you.